Hi, I'm John Carvello, president of Stono Capital and Divestopedia. This is our masterclass on selling a mid-market business. In this class, we are talking about the marketing phase. I'm joined by my peer of world-class investment banking experts, Michael Carter, managing partner at Carter, Morse and Goodrich in Southport, Connecticut, Simon Davies, managing director at Spectrum Corporate Finance in the UK, and Bill Snow, managing director with Jordan Knopf and Company in Chicago, Illinois. Michael, let's start with you today. Can we talk about the preparation of the buyer list? How are these lists prepared, and how are we sure that the best and most likely buyers are included in the sales process?
Well, there's probably about 5 or 6 kind of threads there. So number one, we are talking to our client, and in particular, we're talking, hopefully loop in our client's chief of sales, because very often they have insights into who the best buyer would be. So the company is source number one. Source number two is our own research, and our own research looks at what other M&A transactions are happening in their particular industry, and then also kind of, I'll just say, the contiguous areas around their industry. We look at public companies. Some public companies look to expand as well. So we look at public companies in their industry and what they're doing. We'll talk to we'll go to the last industry association and see who attended those meetings, who spoke at those meetings. We may talk to other private equity firms and investment bankers. And then lastly, there's a database that we use. The 2 big ones are PitchBook and Capital IQ. And they are just provide us with tools that are just unprecedented. So we have almost the same access. We have the same number of same eyes and ears as any other investment bank in the entire world. And then lastly, and most importantly, is the ACO organization, which is an international organization that Simon and I are part of. And we'll shoot it out to our 40 affiliate investment banking firms. And sometimes Simon may call me up and say, gee, I'm looking into, I see you're selling a chemical distributor. We happen to have a buyer. And so we get access to not only our own network, but 40 other investment banks that we're part of. So it's quite comprehensive. I would argue that it would be very, very rare that we're missing anyone important.
Simon, do you want to add to that process? Is there anything different that you would do?
I mean, it is a very thorough answer from Michael, and for us, it's a very, very thorough process. We see that it's one of the most important aspects of the transaction, because you can have the best information memorandum there, but if you're not going to the right buyer pool, you've completely missed your opportunity. So it's worth, we spend probably 4 man weeks in terms of preparation, 4 to 5 man weeks. And from all the sources Michael has mentioned, including the client, we see it as a collaborative approach. But we're really trying to dig out the strategic fit with each buyer. We don't go scattergun. We want to go focus. So we might start with a big funnel and bring that right down from over 100 parties. But we're really looking for where we see the best fits and the strategic fit, and that takes a bit longer. So we may call some of the buyers during that process. We probably would have done that since the early days of winning the mandate, just to understand those buyers that we maybe think is a key fit. What is their acquisition criteria currently? Are they in the market? Are they looking to acquire? And that way we can build a complete picture of the buyers from that perspective as well. Yes, we look at the funding and we make sure they've got money. That's all a natural add-on. But we really want to understand that we've got the right buyer pool to go to.
Bill, do you want to add to that process of just finding prospective buyers and creating that buyer list?
Sure, I agree with what Simon and Michael have said, and just to echo on that, the internet really has been the great leveler. We have a proprietary database. We get contacted all the time by primarily private equity firms, but also corporate buyers. I had our admin a couple of years ago track this for me. I had 300 pages of emails unsolicited from private equity firms sent to me in 1 month, 300 pages, at least 80 or 90 different emails, people just asking for deals or just the regular marketing stuff. So the internet becomes the great leveler with the pitch book and Capital IQ. And I think the days of having a proprietary list of buyers is probably long over, because any capable investment banker is going to be able to do the research and come up with pretty much the same pool of qualified buyers as anybody else, as long as they know how to do the research and they have the right tools to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great point. I think you're right that the research is available to all, but Simon, to your point, there's a real expertise around the amount of work and effort that goes into that research. So great points.